Noah, also known as Ursi, and this is my kitchen. Today in my kitchen, I am whipping up my super simple shortcut falafel. So excited to share this recipe with you. Have you ever been to a Greek diner or an Israeli restaurant or even sometimes a Turkish restaurant and you just get this beautiful pita filled with fried falafel? Oh, it is the best. It's delicious. I've been ordering a lot of falafel from the Greek diner down the street from me. It's starting to add up. So I took to my own kitchen and figured out a way that I could make super simple shortcut falafel at home. I can't wait to share the recipe with you, so come check out the ingredients you'll need to make it at home. So for our super simple shortcut falafel, we're taking two shortcuts. The first is that we are using one 15-ounce can of chickpeas. You're gonna drain them and just rinse them off in your kitchen sink. Typically with falafel, you soak dried chickpeas overnight. I don't have time for that, so I'm using the canned ones, and it always turns out fine. That's our first shortcut. Our second shortcut is that we're gonna bake them in the oven instead of spending hours just frying off little falafel balls in a pot on my stove. So those are our two shortcuts. You're gonna need 1/4 cup of parsley. You don't have to chop it up because it's all gonna go in the blender anyway. You're gonna need 2 garlic cloves. Again, don't have to chop them. About a half tablespoon to a full tablespoon of oil. It really depends on the consistency once we get it in the blender. So I have a tablespoon on hand. 1 teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, 1/4 cup onion chopped. Again, it's going in the blender, so you can literally just get 1/4 of an onion and throw it in there, but I chopped mine up because I really wanted to have just the right amount of onions. 1/4 cup of flour and half a lemon. We're gonna use the juice from that half lemon. Otherwise, as long as you've got a blender and a big bowl to mix, you're ready to go. Let's get these ingredients in my blender and make some falafel. Here we are at the blender, ready to get our falafel mixture going. Important thing to note, if you have a food processor, you can use that too. I feel like you might even be off in a better boat if you have a food processor, because it just mixes so much more evenly. I will be using a blender because I don't own a food processor right now, nor do I have room for it in my kitchen, but fingers crossed one day soon. So start adding your things to your blender or your food processor. I always start with the chickpeas. I'm gonna throw my parsley in. Parsley is really what gives falafel that like crazy green color. And again, if you get a few stems in there like I did, totally fine. Everything blends up so nicely. Garlic cloves. Now add your onions. And again, you can pretty much add these things in any order, but this is just the order I do every time I make the falafel. Next, you're going to go for your cumin and your teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of pepper. Next, we're going to juice our lemon. So you don't need anything fancy to juice a lemon. You can just take a regular old kitchen fork, stick it there in the middle, then use some strength to squeeze. This is a tough lemon though. All right, but I got it. All right, I'm gonna juice just about that much of the lemon. You could do a little more, a little less. I'm gonna save my lemon in case I need it. And like I said, I'm just going to add half of my oil right now and then see if I need the rest later. Now it's time to blend. Let's see how this goes. Beware, it's gonna turn green on you. All right, looks like I need a little bit more oil and a little bit more lemon juice. Now, when you're blending this, you wanna be very careful because you don't want to get hummus. Yeah, that's really it. You don't want to get hummus. I mean, you blend chickpeas, you get hummus, so you gotta be very careful with your blending. Okay, just gonna push all that down. Add the rest of the oil. Should help it along. And a little bit more lemon juice. All right, guys, take 2. I might have to stop it again to push it down, but we should be good from here on out. Check back in with you when it's done. All right, this looks just about done. I'll show it to you guys at my kitchen island, so check back with you there. All right, here we are with our falafel mix. As you can see, it's kind of got like the consistency of what I'm gonna call a chunky hummus, and that's what you wanna go for. So it's time to scoop it out. And don't be worried if, you know, all the parsley didn't blend up, or if there's some like larger chunks of onion in there, because when you bite into falafel, you want a little bit of texture and something to chew. You don't want everything to be so mishmashy. So I am going to do my best to scrape all of my falafel mixture out of the blender. A little easier said than done. And then after, we're gonna mix in our flour, and it's gonna be time to scoop and bake these things. So that's super exciting. All right, I think I got everything out of there. So just pop this behind me. And now we're going to add our flour to the mix. This is gonna help the falafel really stick together and make the balls form. So you can just go ahead and toss it in there. I have my lemon still sitting here, as you can see, because just in case it gets a little too thick, I squeeze a little lemon juice in. So we're just gonna stir that flour in. You really wanna make sure it gets all around. You'll see that the chickpea mixture really absorbs it quickly because it's wet and flour is dry. Take a look at that. We are mixing and mixing. All right. Once you don't see any flour anymore, then it's ready to scoop. So take a look at that. No extra lemon needed. I'm gonna go grab my pan and I'll meet you right back here to scoop out some falafel bites. All right, it's time to scoop out our falafels. So make sure you have one cookie sheet lined with parchment paper, because as always, falafel's not worth nothing if you can't get it off the pan. Nothing you make is. So I like to use a sheet with parchment paper on. Now we're gonna scoop out our falafel. I'm using a simple teaspoon from my kitchen drawer. If you have one of those small ice cream scoops, use that. It'll make perfect shaped falafels every time for you. I really need to get that. I still have it on my list. So I'm just gonna take my teaspoon, gently scoop up about this much worth, and then I'm just gonna form it into like somewhat of a ball shape and pop it down right there. Oh, it looks so cute. Let me do that one more time. So I'm gonna scoop some up, a little bit more than that. I'm gonna just form it into a little ball shape. I would roll this, but it's a very sticky batter, which is how it's supposed to be, by the way. And I just don't want to make a mess of my hands. And I'm just gonna slide it off, la-di-da, right there. I'm gonna do this probably like 15 to 20 more times, so check back in with you when I'm done. All right, we're all done. As you see, made a few more than I normally does this recipe. I don't know, sometimes recipe counts can be a little shaky, but made a few more than usual, and I was lazy and I didn't go get a second pan because I was able to like somewhat make them fit. So before you throw them into the oven, you should lightly brush them with some oil, or if you're someone like me who likes to get a little can of spray oil, you could just lightly spray them. So just like that. Now it's time. Our falafel's ready, so into the oven we go. All right, here are our super simple shortcut falafels taken out of the oven. And will you look at that? Granted, they have a slight different appearance than the traditional fried falafel that you'll find. That's because they're baked, not fried. But you can pick them up and notice they're just as crispy. They smell exactly the same and they look incredible. So after this, all you're really gonna do is let them cool. I'm gonna take them off the baking pan to cool and just put them right here on this plate. Some of them are a little smaller than others, but this falafel is incredible. I highly recommend dipping it in your favorite tzatziki sauce, maybe stuffing it between some pita, and enjoying for lunch or dinner. Actually, probably what I'm gonna do after this, because falafel is my favorite. I'm Ursi from Ursi's Unique Eats. Thank you so much for cooking with me in my kitchen today. I hope you found a nice, simple shortcut to one of your favorite meals. Make sure if you like this video to subscribe to this channel or give it a like on the little like button underneath. I don't know what you call that. And check back next Thursday. We put out new videos every week. Until then, enjoy!